What's up, modelers? I decided to take a break today from working on my giant Stinger because my fun scale PT-19 from Hangar showed up and I want to fly it. So let's get this plane unboxed and assembled. Now, I've never done a PNP wood plane before, so I'm really excited to see if I can get this plane completely done today and ready to fly tomorrow. So first up, we have some nice decals and the instructions, so we'll set those aside. Let's start pulling everything out of the box. We've got the horizontal stabilizer right there. And vertical fin and rudder right next to it. Here come the wings. Still taped down. As with everything from Horizon, everything is packaged really nice so it doesn't get damaged in shipping. There's the other wing. Really nice looking wings. Servo's already installed. Take out the cardboard separator there. Nice looking fuselage. Get our cowl out here. Comes right out. Everything looks to be in great shape. Really nice looking plane. Then it looks like we got a box of accessories here. Yep, so here's all our accessories. I'm actually going to set that aside for right now. And we will toss the box aside. Let's start taking a look at this thing. Really nice fiberglass cowl. Check that out. Gorgeously painted. It's got almost a semi-matte black sticker. It's not painted, it just looks like a sticker on top of a decal, but it's really nice quality, and I love that the holes are already drilled on here for you, so you don't even have to do that. That's really nice. Okay, the fuselage has a whole lot of tape on it. Careful cutting that off so we don't nick anything. Oh, more at the back. Okay. So I'm not sure if the canopy came loose in shipping or if it comes like that. I have a feeling it's supposed to be attached and it just came loose in shipping. Hopefully nothing is damaged. Yeah, well, we can see it did take a little bit of damage. The clip that's supposed to hold it on got knocked free shipping. It'll be really easy to glue back on, so no big deal. Take care of that with just a couple drops of CA. Overall, the covering job is really nicely done. I don't see any wrinkles or bubbles or anything. Good seams. I don't even think I'll have to go over this with an iron. It looks great. It's a 4250 600 kV motor on the front. I think it's a 60 amp Avion ESC attached really nicely. They did a great job with it. Really nicely done. Let's make sure this fits in properly, since it did get knocked free. Yeah, it looks like it fits down just fine. Just took a little knock during shipping, looks like, but don't think there was any real damage done. So we'll be able to fix that very easily. Still disappointing when something shows up with a little bit of shipping damage like that, but it's a first run, so these things do happen. And luckily, it's a super easy fix. A couple drops of glue and it'll be good to go. Very nice. Light wing. Really nice and light. Again, the covering looks great. Servo's already attached, and I like that they put these little foam blocks here to protect the arm and everything during shipping. It's really nice. Always do a good look over to see if there's any damage when you first get a plane. So if you got to call them for a warranty or anything, you can. I see one little bubble here on the covering, but I should be able to take that out no problem. Cool rudder. Very nice. I love the covering scheme on that. Really gorgeous. Everything's all set, ready to go. We'll have to see if this got bent in shipping or that's how it's supposed to be. I have a feeling I'm going to have to bend that straight. So it looks like even with as well packed as this was, took a couple dinks in shipping. But again, so far nothing that's really going to be a pain to fix. Take a look at the horizontal stabilizer. That looks really good. The one thing I think we're going to do is, since I am going to power this 6S instead of 4S, I've heard from the people who had the Funscale P47 that you want to actually epoxy the horizontal stabilizer on, so we'll probably have to remove just a little bit of covering around here. Again, no big deal, just so we can epoxy it down to the fuselage. So other than two minor things that look like shipping damage, which should be easy to fix, everything seems to be in great shape, so let's get going on the build. Okay, so the wings are all assembled and ready to go. The first thing you do is hook up the servos to your radio system and make sure everything is centered. The right wing, which is this one right here, was perfect. The left wing, the arm was one tooth off that way, so I had to remove it and move it one spline backwards and then redo the clevis so everything was centered up. Really easy. And then the next thing you do is attach the landing gear, and you want to be careful that you make sure that you use the right strut so that it's bent forward on each of the wings and not backwards. And that is where we ran into the first little problem. Is you see these hold down plastic plates here? They were missing from my kit. Could not find them anywhere. Looked through. They were supposed to be with the hardware pack. They were nowhere to be found. Luckily, I had some spare ones lying around, so I was able to take care of that. But that's the first real ding I have against Hangar 9 and Horizon with this plane. The shipping damage they can't control that, but missing pieces is frustrating. Luckily, I had what I needed sitting around, so we can keep moving on. Okay, so the next thing I had to do is fix the broken latch, and as you can see, there's a small wooden piece that surrounded it. That was completely broken off and broken in 3 different pieces. So I put that back together with CA, and then I epoxied the latch back in. Then I took the leftover epoxy and brushed it on the fuselage, both there and there, where the receiver and batteries are going to mount, so that the Velcro or double sticky tape will mount much easier. So now we can move on to the tail section. Okay, so the next part was to mount the tail. So to do that, the first thing I did was mount the wings. They don't say to do this in the instructions, but it's definitely something you want to do, because then you test fit the horizontal stabilizer and walk behind the airplane to make sure that it and the wings are completely parallel, because your plane will never fly right if they aren't. So I checked them and they were perfect. Then it was just sliding the rudder in from the top, making sure all the slots lined up, and then the 2 bolts came through the bottom. You can see them right there and there. And then you just use a nut driver to tighten them down, and everything just locks up nice and solid. And then you can just put this little hatch cover in place right there, and it's totally done. The one thing I did that they didn't mention is I actually did a bead of thin CA right down the seam on both sides of the horizontal stabilizer, just to lock everything in place, even though nothing was moving at all. But since I'm going to fly this on 6S, I thought a little extra security wouldn't be a bad idea. So now I can remove the wings, finish up the tail wheel, and we are just about done with this plane already. Okay, just finished up a pretty straightforward receiver installation. There it is right there, and then hooked up the elevator and rudder servos and got the control surfaces all centered and ready to go. So next up is to mount the cowling and propeller and all that. Cowl and prop all done and ready to go. Just the last few things. Got to CG it, put the battery in, fire it up, and set the control throws, and she'll be ready to go. All right, and with just a few hours of work, she's ready to go. Overall, I'm really pleased with the PT-19 from Hangar 9. This thing is great. Nice quality. Everything looks good throughout. It was a super easy build. Really, two minor complaints. One was obviously the missing landing gear straps, but that's just one of those things. Sometimes you're missing a part. I could have contacted Horizon. They'd send them to me. Luckily, I had spare, so I was able to get it ready to go. So not that big of a deal. The shipping damage, I can't blame Horizon for that. That's the shipping company. You know, luckily they were really easy to fix. My only other complaint with this is the servos. They're really cheap. I don't like the servos. I'll probably replace them before too long. But other than that, the motor seems really nice. ESC seems good. I spun it up on 6S and it pulled really nice. Had a 12x6 ready to go. So yeah, all the control throws are set. CG is spot on. So we're going to fly this thing tomorrow and hopefully I'll get a video up for you guys. See you next time.